All right, let's take a look. So first we're going to look at your swing from 2 point of view. The first one is what we call the down the line view. You're looking down the line towards your target view. We're going to see the path of this golf club. So right here, this club, each club has this angle or that circle run. We need to swing that club pretty close to that. If we're getting too flat, like tennis, or too upright, it can create a bit of a problem. So we're always trying to stay on that line. So part of that swing is when we swing, your natural instinct, everyone has something when they first start. Yours is a little flat. It's like tennis. It's coming at an angle that doesn't really want to go down the way we want it to go. And so it doesn't send that line. So the first thing we did is just kind of work on the grip today and really worked on just kind of getting the feel of how your hands, and that's a learned feeling. We have a little keys and teaching aids to help us, but you see on this with the grip, the thing with it tells you to hinge your hands, it started to send that club more up instead of more flat. And that gets that club on that line. So it's on a natural path to go back to the ball now. It's teaching your hands to go up and down. So that's just kind of telling you how your hands work. Hands are like this. They don't really do a whole lot, but they are moving relative to how we're moving. So we are teaching our hands how to move correctly with our swing on the way back. Okay, so that part, and you did great. So we just kind of kept working that until your hands started to feel in a certain way. And that's a big part of the swing. So now let's go from the front view. Okay, so with the front view, that's a great grip right there. Got your hands on there, perfect. There was a time that I would tell you kind of stand up. Sometimes when you didn't get to the ball, your instinct was to get lower to the ground, which we don't want to do. We want to stand as tall as we can and get the club to move where. Now, the golf swing basically has 6 things that can move as a force or a motion. We need to separate which ones are the good ones and the bad ones, depending on what we're trying to do. So the 6 things are your shoulders, hips, your wrist, which is what we worked on, your arms, your core muscles, just from your center of your body here down to all your core muscles, and your feet pressure. That's how we're used to ground as a force, just like when you're playing tennis, you're pushing off the ground to move. That's where always the energy will come from. When we first in golf, the things that we get taught that gets us in trouble is things like turn your shoulders and shift your weight and go to the follow through. We don't want to do those things. Shoulders are more going to be part of the speed part at the end, but not at the force part. Now the key is the shoulders are just in the center of on the outside of your core. So the first thing is we just worked on how to push and swing, and your shoulders naturally created a pivot, and that's great. That's what we wanted. So that was just your learning your backswing. And again, these are layers. In other words, they will just keep getting better. Now the key is how do we hit this ball? You had 2 things here that got you in trouble. Your instinct was to overturn your body to the finish. So just think if this was A to the top, B and C to the finish. You are sometimes going from A to C. So it's a roller coaster. We got to go down this roller coaster to get to the ball. Then the energy of that force slings you back up to the top. If you try to go just to the finish, you're going to pull away from the ball that you're trying to hit. And that's the bag, or swinging the energy to that. So we just let it swing down. You can see how you're heading down. You get this one nice and solid. See that ball it's hit that face. And that ball gets launched up. And then the energy from that swings you up to a nice balanced finish. And right now you're just learning to coordinate these forces, but you're feeling more feet pushing and center and swinging and down to the ball, and then let it come up to the finish naturally. Always to the ball first, never to the finish first. So get that feeling of swinging up and back. As you keep doing these little swings, right now you can see how you're staying in a pretty good center position to the ball, and you're just kind of moving around your center. Every day you swing. This is a game about being coordinated with a club and how we hold it, we move it, we swing it. So every day you do this, you're just kind of making everything simpler in your head, so everything starts moving more efficiently. Besides that, great job. You just kind of keep swinging every day. Just get at least 5-10 minutes a day where you just go outside and swing a club and hit some tees. Meaning put the tee in the ground here, see if you can hit the tee every time. Lets you know everything's okay.